Hello everyone, this is our topic, students' attitudes towards science across Nigeria and China. There are 6 parts in this study. This study addresses the lack of interest in science in Nigeria, and teachers fail to inculcate the scientific attitudes in students in China. To address these issues, the main purpose of this study is to investigate the impact of context-based teaching on student attitudes towards science. The findings will be useful for scholars and educators to know about the effectiveness of context-based teaching on students' attitudes towards science.
Now the background of the study. Nigeria has 36 states with a population of over 200 million people, one of which Katsina State is located in the northwest geopolitical region of Nigeria. The people of Katsina State are mostly Muslim with a substantial number of Christians and few traditional religion worshippers.
And in China, the development of education is imbalanced between the eastern regions and the northwest regions. And Qinghai province is in northwest China at a high altitude with many ethnic minorities.
Problem statement. In Nigeria, most of the students in secondary schools do not show serious interest in science. In the Chinese curriculum, teachers fail to inculcate the scientific attitudes in their students. The purpose of this study is to investigate context-based teaching on students' attitudes towards science, to compare the students' attitudes towards science across Nigeria and China, as well as gender differences in SAS.
The literature review. One of the goals of science education is to develop students' positive attitudes towards science. The outcome of attitude dimension is as important as the cognitive outcomes. Development of positive attitude towards science, which has always been a constituent of science education, is increasingly subject of concern. Context-based teaching provides students with a useful point to link scientific concepts to the real world, and integrate their knowledge to develop their scientific skills and interests. The investigation of students' attitude towards science has been a substantive feature for the work of science education research community. Now, science education, still under literature review. Science education is considered as an indispensable variable in the civilization and development of any nation. Science education is the process of teaching within the school system to improve environmental knowledge and to develop systematic inquiry skills as well as natural attitudinal characteristics. Attitude towards science. Attitude towards science as a positive or negative opinion that individuals have about science, based on their perceptions of science as a school subject, as an aspect of society, and as a human endeavor. Still under literature review, context-based teaching. Context-based teaching is defined as the teaching/learning approach where the context and the application of science are taken, and which has a humanistic perspective of school science. Regarding gender differences in attitude towards science, gender has been a long-standing issue in science education. Substantial studies have revealed the difference between male and female students in their attitude towards science. The literature on student attitude towards science consistently shows that male students demonstrate more positive attitude towards science than female students do. Regarding related studies, evidence based on this approach suggests that context-based programs are not only better at motivating students to study science, but also foster a more positive attitude towards science display.
Research methodology. This study will use a deductive research strategy and a post-positive philosophy. There are 3 research questions. How context-based teaching impacts students' attitudes towards science in Nigeria and China? Are there any gender differences in students' attitudes towards science in Nigeria and China? Are there any differences in students' attitudes towards science in Nigeria and China? Theoretic framework. The independent variable is context-based teaching. Dependent variable is students' attitudes towards science. Moderating variable is gender. Control variables are ethnic minority and race. In this study, we use a quantitative approach with the pre-test, post-test control group design, and the instrument is pre-test and post-test. The sample will be recruited from Katsina State, Nigeria, and Qinghai Province, China. The sample is from senior secondary schools in Katsina State, China, in Nigeria, and Qinghai Province, China. The target sample size equal in both countries is from power analysis. In two-stage process, senior secondary schools are convenient to access for research members, and cluster random samples will be drawn in each participating country. In pre-test and post-test, a survey from WANG and Berlin will be used. It contains 30 items and 3 constructs: science enjoyment, science confidence, and the importance of science. The data will be collected before and after the treatment, which includes 7 sessions. The senior secondary schools are invited to participate on a voluntary basis, and the students' responses to the online survey are in an anonymous way. Data include the descriptive data and inferential data. The process of data collection and analysis will follow this figure.
And this study aims to provide quality education and reduce inequalities to close the gap between developed and developing areas and countries. In this study, students will visit different surface water treatment factories to achieve knowledge related to water cleaning. Through this study, developing females' attitudes towards science will promote gender equality. So this is our team presentation, and thank you for your listening.